Assalamualaikum. Today's topic is grammar. In grammar we will do active voice and passive voice, subject English. Now coming to active and passive voice. First of all, we will know what is voice. Voice is the form of verb which shows whether the subject does something or something happens to it. In this way, there are two voices in English. First one is active voice, second one is passive voice. Active voice. When the action is done by the subject in the sentence, or we can say when a subject is a doer of the action in a sentence, then the sentence belongs to the active voice. Or you can say that subject is an active participant of the action, then it is said to be active voice. Examples are I eat an apple. So subject is active participant in this action in this sentence. She played badminton. They will buy new dresses. Subjects are I, she, they. Act something in these sentences, so they are called the doers, and all the above sentences are of active voices. Now coming to passive voice. When the action is done to the subject in the sentence, or when a subject is a receiver of action, then the sentence belongs to passive voice. For example, an apple is eaten by me. So in this sentence, the subject is the receiver of an action. An apple is eaten by me. Eaten by me, he is the receiver of the action. Badminton was played by her. In this sentence also, the subject is the receiver of the action. New dresses will be bought by them. So what we learn about active and passive voice? When the subject is important, then the sentence will be active voice. And when the action is important, the sentence will be passive voice. Or you can say in active voice, the subject is the active participant, and in passive voice, the action is important. Now coming to the procedure for changing active voice into passive voice. First of all, there are some rules or procedures for changing active into passive voice. You have to remind it these procedures. Identify the sentence. First of all, you have to identify the tense of a sentence, and then you have to change it accordingly. Number 2, change the subject and object to each other position. So the subject will take the position of object and object will take the position of subject. Number 3, use always third form of action word. When you change active voice into passive voice, so in passive voice you have to use third form of verb. In passive voice you have to use third form of verb. Use by phrase after third form of action verb. So in passive voice you have to use by after third form of verb. If there is who in a sentence, change it into by whom. If there is why, it will remain as it is. In imperative sentence, let will be used at the start of sentence. Only transitive verb can be changed into passive voice. So only transitive verbs can be changed into passive voice. You have to keep these points, these rules in mind. Now coming to how to use the helping verbs of tense used in passive voice. So these are the helping verbs which we will use in passive voice. Present indefinite tense we will use if we figure out that the sentence of active voice is given to us is in simple present tense, so we will use in passive voice is am are. And if the sentence is in continuous form, then we will use in passive voice is being, am being, or are being. If the sentence is in perfect tense, present perfect tense, then we will use has been or have been in passive voice. So these are the helping verbs which we will use in passive voices. For past indefinite tense, we will use was, were. Past continuous tense, we will use was being, were being. For past perfect tense, we will use had been. Future indefinite tense, we will use will be, shall be. There will be no future continuous tense, so we will use future perfect. We will use helping verbs will have been, shall have been. So I repeat that these are the helping verbs which will be used in passive voices. Now coming to present indefinite of passive voice. How to make passive voice of present indefinite tense? So helping verbs are is, am, are. Then we will use third form of verb, and the structure would be the subject will take the object of the subject will take the position of object, and object will take the position of subject. In regular sentences, we start a sentence with subject, then helping verb, then form of verb, and then it is followed by object. So as you can see, in passive voice we start with object because the subject has taken the position of object and object has taken the position of subject. So we will start with object plus helping verb plus form of verb plus subject. So the regular sentence is she irons her clothes. So she is subject, then irons form of verb, and then clothes it is object. So first of all, we have to know that what is the tense of this sentence. So verb will help us in this situation. Irons, irons, the use of s shows that it is present indefinite tense. She irons her clothes, so verb is telling us that it is present indefinite tense. So we have to change it into passive voice, and we will keep in mind that chart helping verbs of tense used in passive voice. So for present indefinite tense, we will use is, am, are. So she irons her clothes, so object will take the position of subject. So we will use her clothes. Her clothes is object in this sentence, and when we use passive voice of it, we will use this object in the start of the sentence. So object will take the position of subject. Her clothes, this is object. Her clothes, now this is subject. Her clothes are, we will use helping verb according to the subject. We will use helping verb according to the subject. Her clothes are, then we will use irons. Irons is verb. Then we will use third form of verb, which is ironed, and third form of verb is followed by the use of by, and then we will use she will convert it into her. So the pronoun will convert, she will convert it into her. Now we have changed active voice into passive voice. So we kept these, we use the procedure or we use the rules by changing active voice into passive voice. First of all, we change subject into object. So this is subject, and we use is in this sentence as an, this is object, her clothes. We use it over here as a subject. Then we use the helping verb, which is the helping verb is used accordingly to the subject. Then we use the third form of verb. Then we put by, and then we use the subject, which is now as an object. So the object becomes subject and the subject become object over here. Now the sentence is her clothes are ironed by her. Now coming to another sentence, he teaches us English. He is subject. English is object. Now in changing into passive voice, we will take English as a subject. English is taught to us by him. He will change into him. They take exercise. They take exercise. Exercise is taken by them. They will change into them. Jamal calls me. Me will change into I. I, then we will use helping verb am. I am called, third form, then use of by and then use of object. I am called by Jamal. So this is the procedure to change active voice into passive voice. Now coming to negative sentence. How to change negative sentence? She does not write a letter. A letter is not written by her. We will use not along with the helping verb. We do not invite the guests. The guests are not invited by us. Now coming to interrogative sentence. How to change interrogative of present indefinite tense. Do I like him? Question mark. Do shows that it is present indefinite tense. So we will use helping verb of it, is. So first of all we will use is instead of do. Helping verb of present indefinite tense is. Then we will use I like him. Him will be changed into he. He liked by I will change into me. So first of all we will use the helping verb is instead of do. Then I is subject and him is object. So we will take object as a subject and him will change into he. Then we use third form of verb liked. Then we use by and then subject will be changed into object. I will change into me. Now second one is does Sumaya take milk? Does will change into is and milk, it is object. We will use it in this sentence as a subject. Is milk, then we will use form of verb, third form of verb taken. Then we use then we put by. Is milk taken by Sumaya? In this sentence Sumaya is subject and we will use it as object in this sentence. Is milk taken by Sumaya? Number 3. Does the teacher teach me? Does will change into am and me will change into I. Am I? So we will use helping verb according to the subject. Am I taught by the teacher? And so on. Now coming to present continuous passive voice. Helping verbs is, being, am being and are being. We will use third form. Structure is object, then helping verb is being, am being, are being according to the use of subject. Third form plus use of by and then subject. Active voice is I am playing hockey. So we will use it in, we will convert it or change it into passive voice as I is subject, hockey is object, playing is verb and am is helping verb. So first of all we have to figure out the tense, which tense it is. I am playing hockey. I am playing. Playing verb is showing that it is continuous and am is showing, helping verb is showing that it is present continuous tense. So for present continuous tense we will use is being, am being or are being. Is subject and hockey is object. We change the position of subject and object. Hockey which was as object over here, now we are using it as subject. Hockey is being. So we are using helping verb is being. Hockey is being, then we will use third form of verb is being played by me. I will change into me. Hockey is being played by me. Second one, we are calling him. We is subject, him is object. We will change the position of subject and object. We will use he instead of him. He is being called by, we will use into us. And there are some other examples too. How to change into negative? I am not playing hockey. Hockey is not being played by me. We are not calling him. He is not being called by us. Interrogative sentence structure is, am, are, object, being, third form of verb, by, and subject. Am I playing hockey? So, am I playing hockey? It shows that it is interrogative of present continuous tense. So, we will use are, then we will use second one is we are not calling him. So, we will change it into interrogative. Are we calling him? She is not teaching us English. Is she teaching us English? Now coming to present perfect tense of passive voice. Helping verb has been, have been, main verb third form, structure. Object has or have, third form of verb plus by, then subject. I have played hockey. How to figure out that which sentence is this? So, I have played hockey. Have, the use of have and the use of third form shows that it is present perfect tense. So, now we will change it into passive voice. Hockey has been played by me. So, we will use has been or have been according to the subject. We have called him. We, subject, him, object, have called shows that it is present perfect tense. He has been called by us. Negative of it is hockey has not been played by me. We will use not in between has and been. He has not been called by him. How to change interrogative? Have I played hockey? So we will use have, helping verb in the start. Then we will use I played hockey. Have I played hockey? And this is interrogative of active. Have shows that it is past tense of present. Sorry, it is the perfect tense of present, and the third form shows that it is present perfect tense. Now passive of it is has hockey been played by me? We will use has or have according to the use of subject. So, has hockey been played by me? Second one is have we called him? Has he been called by us? So, why we use have, why we change have over here in has? Because of the change of subject and object. Over here have is used with we, and over here has is used with he in this sentence. So, have we called him? So, have and has change according to the subject. which is used in a sentence. Have we called him? We is subject, him is object, and we change the position of subject and object. We will use he instead of him in this sentence, and we will use us instead of we in this sentence. So we will use has he been, the use of been, called by us. Before going to past tense, we will see the chart of pronouns. There is change of pronouns when we change active voice into passive voice. If subject of pronoun is I, it will be changed in object as me. You will be changed into you, he will be changed into him, she will be changed into her, it will be changed into it, we will use into us, you will, plural will be you, they will be them. Now coming to past indefinite of passive voice. Helping verbs was and were, third form of verb, and structure of passive voice is object, was, were, third form of verb, use of by, and then subject. Active sentence is I wrote a letter. First of all, we have to understand which tense is this sentence. Wrote, second form of verb, shows that it is past indefinite tense. Then what we have to do, first of all, first step is change the position of subject and object. So first of all, we will change the position of subject and object. I will be changed in me, and we will change the position of subject. I is subject and we will use as me in object. Letter is object and we will use it as subject over here. A letter, then we will use was or verb, helping verbs. So we will use our helping verb according to our subject. A letter, there is one letter, single letter, so we will use a singular helping verb over here. A letter was, then we will use verb, third form of verb, written, then we will use by, and I will change into me. A letter was written by me. Second one is we played hockey. Played shows that it is past indefinite tense, so we will change it. Hockey was played by us, we will change into us. Now coming to negative of it, a letter was not written by me. And coming to interrogative sentence, did I write a letter, we will change it as did. Did will be changed into the helping verb of past indefinite tense. Did will change into was, then we will take object as a subject. Was a letter, then we will take third form of verb, written by, and then we will use subject as object, and we will change the pronoun I with me. Was a letter written by me. Second one is did we play hockey. Did will change into was, hockey, the subject, the object will become subject, hockey, then we will use third form of verb, use of by, and we will use we as a object over here, but we will change the pronoun, so we will change into us. Was hockey played by us. Now coming to past continuous passive voice. So past continuous passive voice structure is helping verb was being. So was being will be used with singular nouns, I, singular nouns or pronouns, I, he, she, it. And were being will use with plural pronouns or noun, was, you, and they. We will use third form of verb. Structure is object, was being, were being, third form of verb, by, and subject. Example, first one is students were solving a paper. Students were shows that it is past tense. Solving shows that it is continuous, so it is past continuous tense. Now we will change, first of all we will change the position of subject and object. A paper is object, we will use it as subject. Then we will use helping verb. We will use helping verb according to our subject. A paper, it is a singular, so we will use was being. So a paper was being. Then we will use third form of verb solved along with by, and then we will use subject as an object. So a paper was being solved by students. Second one is children were making a noise. So we will first of all we will change subject into object and object into subject. A noise, then we will use helping verb according to our subject. A noise was, then we will use helping third form of verb made by children. A noise was being made by children. Now coming to negative of it. A paper was not being solved by students. So we will put not in between was and being. Now coming to interrogative. Was a paper being solved by students? So we will use was a paper being solved by a student.